Actually, this is what I did in one of my previous sessions at Knesset. I gave 40 or 45 websites to the audience. 1 minute for each website, because I don't think it's worth talking any longer about one website. You give them an address, you say, this is what it's good for, and you take it home, and you see whether you can use it, whether you want to use it. But this is not a very effective way of doing things, if you ask me. Okay, so that's the end of my session and the beginning of your session. And luckily, we have a question from Mary. Mary, can I read your question? Okay. And the way I think it should go is that we have this question. We can try to answer this question, or we can, as I said in the club, a free exchange of ideas. And we can talk about these things, and we can continue it anywhere you like. We can set up a website for it, we can choose a name for it, and you can do whatever you like there. But the way it will not be done is that I give you tips and ideas, etc., unless you ask me specifically. Unless you say, okay, this is my teaching situation, this is what I would like to achieve here, how can I do it? So, here is Mary's question. One topic of interest is asynchronous learning, a term we hear often. My question is, how can traditional teachers feel comfortable when students are doing asynchronous learning? Whether to integrate it into the teacher's planned activities? Sometimes teachers just feel out of control. I'm done. The floor is yours.
Let's clarify what Mary means by asynchronous learning. So what do you mean by that they learn out of the classroom?
Yes, I'm in a situation, I work for a private language school, and until now...
Can you hear Mary up there?
No?
So Mary works for a private language school.
We are starting to do something called blended learning, okay? And until now it's been all face-to-face in a classroom somewhere. And we're going to pair that. We're not going to do away with face-to-face, which we call synchronous learning. I don't know what you call it. And we're going to pair it with materials that are online that are part of our course that can be done at the pleasure of the student. So we call that asynchronous because not everybody does it at the same time. So we have business people who get on their computer at 11 o'clock at night and do their English homework. Okay? That's it.
Have you had any similar experience? Anyone?
Yeah, I taught through video conferencing, and I usually set written tasks for in form of a blog or something. So the way to feel comfortable about that for me was to set a clear deadline. So by that and that date, that and that hour, everyone should submit their task, whatever it was, either to the blog or to the voice thread. I use it a lot, or whichever website was good for me at the moment. Mostly they kept to the deadlines, but if they didn't, they were supposed to give an excuse, other than I didn't want to.
Dog ate my homework.
The digital dog ate the digital homework.
Yes.
So I personally don't use. I've used VoiceThread. I've tried it, and I also teach in a private language school, working with adults and also in the same time with teenagers. The thing is with VoiceThread, if you're working with adults, they are a little bit reluctant to sign up on VoiceThread because it works only for 2 months, let's say, or the duration of the course, which doesn't really help them that much. Although you can actually integrate the use of Skype, which most of the students have a Skype account. And Skype has very interesting features, such as the extra features of recording their calls. So you can actually give them tasks where they have to have a sort of a debate, you could call it a debate, or an actual dialogue based on a certain topic. They should record that, send the recording to you, and you can give them actual feedback on what they've said, and which can help very well in the classroom, and which is blended learning, by the way, because you can start a task in the classroom and go on with it as homework and then review it in the classroom.
That was kind of my starting point too, was what I've been thinking about the most. And I do with some blogs with some other groups. I start something in the lesson and then follow it up on the blog or wiki or whatever. So.
Just my 2 cents. You were worried about being out of control.
Not me necessarily. I do feel some. Okay, I'll say it this way. I want what I do, no matter where I do it, I want it to be effective. And I feel, okay, maybe I've been kind of brainwashed by looking around at too many websites. You know, they all sound so glorious, and it sounds like they just sort of take off on their own. So. I feel that if I have people out there blogging with each other, you know, 2 people from my class, from my group, I don't want to lose that. You know, I want it to. I want to be in on it if it's successful.
Exactly. Now, I think I have a clearer understanding of what you meant. When I first started using the internet with my students, I felt very much out of control. Because, you know, in a classroom situation, well, you set the rules. Everything happens as you want it to happen. But online, you just have to accept the fact that you are out of control in the traditional sense of the word. That's it. It doesn't mean that they are not learning anything. It just means that you might not have such a clear control over what they are learning.